Alice in Borderland Season 2 is less than 24 hours away from being released, and that can only mean one thing in a show where there is deaths left, right and centre. It is now time for your Season 2 death predictions. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. I'm really looking forward to this season of Alice in Borderland. I rewatched Season 1 in anticipation for Season 2, and I can honestly tell you, I think this show is better than I originally thought on my first watch through. I think it's such an underrated show, and I don't think I appreciated it really until watching it for a second time, albeit when I watched it last night, it wasn't the second time. I think it was like the third or fourth time I've watched it, but still, every time I watch it, it does seem to get better. But there's one issue I have with it, and I think it might be an issue a lot of people have. At the end of episode 3, they kill off 3 of the 4 main characters in the show up until that point, and it does feel a bit... It feels shit, man. It really does. Like, you lose 75% of the cast. You lose 75% of the characters that you've invested into in the first 3 episodes. And at that point, I lost my favourite character, who was Karubi. So, yeah, I was disappointed, but forget about that. That was Season 1. We're here to talk about Season 2. And, of course, I haven't watched any of the original content, so there will be no spoilers. I don't know what happens in the original stuff, so yeah, this is a Season 2 spoilerless death prediction video. With that said, guys, we're going to move on to my first character, and that is Tata. What can we say about this guy? Honestly, not a lot. He reminds me of Arasu, but not as smart. Now, I'm not calling him a dumbass or anything like that, but he seems courageous like Arasu. He seems loyal like Arasu. He seems to want to protect his friends like Arasu. He's morally clear, just like Arasu as well. He seems to want to do the right things and do the right things by people. So, I like Tata. I just don't really see him escaping this season alive, if I'm being honest. I think his time could be up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a sacrifice or if he courageously dies trying to complete a game. But I do think Season 2 will be the end of this character. On to the next, and we have Mira. So when we're first introduced to Mira in Season 1, she appears to be a player. She appears to be one of the higher ups on the beach. But when we see the end of Season 1, it no longer looks like she's a player. In fact, it seems to be that she's a dealer, or she has some sort of like higher up power, authority in the whole, game show kind of thing. So she's not a player. I don't know, at the time of her being introduced, was she disguising herself as a player, or did she get promoted somehow? Did she become a dealer? Is she now higher than a dealer? I'm not too sure about this character. I'm sure we will learn more about her in Season 2, but I do think she will die, because at the end of the day, she is a villain, and I think villains will probably die. So yeah, I'm going to say death for Mira. I could be wrong, but I do see her dying, maybe in the finale of Season 2. So for Mira, I'm also, like Tata, going to say she dies in this season. Up next, we have Naragi, or should I say, what is left of Naragi. Now, the last time we seen this guy in Season 1, he was coming with a gun, he was shooting his, what it is, something similar to like an M4, he was spraying it. Previously, he'd just been set on fire by Chisawa, so he's like half burnt. I mean, at this point, he remains like he's like a big fucking bundle of charcoal. You know, there's not much left of the guy, but apparently he's still alive. Apparently he's going to be in Season 2, so we will see whether that be as flashbacks or whether he is still alive. I'm going to say though, if he is still alive, and according to the Wikipedia page, he is. Apparently he will be in Season 2, and it's not confirmed that it will be flashback. So I'm going to assume that his character has survived. But if his character has survived, I'm going to say that he will no longer survive. I will say he dies, and I don't even think he'll get late into the show. if he's still alive, I expect him to go early on, whether it be episode 1 or episode 2. I don't think Naragi will last long, and in fairness, don't really like this character. Comes across as a bully and a bit of a creep, and we did see a bit of a backstory to his life where he was originally getting bullied when he was younger, so looks like now he's in Alice in Borderland, now he's in the games arena. It looks like he's taking his frustrations out on other people, but I don't like this guy, and I hope that he does die in Season 2 of the show, and I think he will. So yeah, there you go. Up next we've got Gianni, a guy that I really like. Gianni, pretty much, when we get introduced to Gianni, he's like a good, no, I don't know if I want to say good guy, but he's like a powerful guy. He's like someone, a badass that you don't really want to mess with. Then we find him again on the beach, and it appears he is like the leader of the military corps. So he's the leader, essentially, of the military group that is protecting the beach. Basically, he's the leader of the muscle. And he seems to be good friends with Hatter. He seems to follow whatever Hatter says. But we find out that Hatter dies, and then Gianni takes leadership of the beach, even though he was at number 2, even though technically he should not have took over leadership role. He took over regardless. We're kind of led to believe that he probably killed Hatter, and even though he did, it turned out to be in self-defense more than murder. And then in the end, he kind of saves everyone that's still alive on the beach by taking care of Naragi. So he redeems himself at the end of Season 1. I wouldn't necessarily say he's a bad guy. Not at all. I think he's a little bit conflicted. I don't think he's an evil person. He's not a bad person. And I think we could see him go out. I think we could see a sacrifice again in Season 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if he dies protecting / saving some of the group members. So yeah, unfortunately again, for Gianni, I'm going to say death. So far, we've got 4 deaths. Coming in now on our 5th character, it is going to be Anne. Now, Anne was one of the higher-ups on the beach. I believe she was, I'm not quite sure what number she was, but she was also like a forensic scientist as well. She found out about Hatter being shot. She found out about the 10 of clubs games that the knife had backwards print. So she's someone good to have on the team, and I think she will play an important part in the upcoming season. If I was in this scenario, I would want her on my team because she has a lot of skills, and she is pretty intelligent, and she's pretty hot as well. So you know what? I'm going to go... will she survive though? That's the big question. She might be smart, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to live. And with that said, I'm going to go 5 in a row for dead. I think I am. You know what? I think I am. I'm going to say Anne dies. Might be unpopular, but yeah, I don't need a forensic scientist to tell me that I do not think Anne will make it out alive in Season 2. Next up, we have Chisawa, and I absolutely hate this guy, man. Did not like his character. Comes across as a sleek-it, betrayful little piece of shit. And that's exactly what he is, because he does betray Arasu. He sets Arasu up for failure, even though he's got like he's always got a hidden agenda. He only keeps people close to him that he thinks that are beneficial to him and he can use. And I guess you could argue a lot of people do that in life, but I don't like this guy. I really do not like this guy. Chisawa, or whatever you pronounce his name. I hope that he dies, but I've got a funny feeling that he might live. So, unfortunately, I don't want him to live. I want his character to bite the dust. But I've got a funny feeling Chisawa might actually survive in Season 2 of the show. So, I'm going to say Chisawa lives. First time I'm going to say a character lives, but I do think he might survive and he might live on. Whether there's going to be a Season 3 or whether the show ends at the end of Season 2, I think this guy will still be alive when it comes to an end. We're moving on now to the 3rd last character, and this is going to be Kiana, and this one is very controversial. So I'll be honest, guys, first watching this, Season 1, my first watch through, I really enjoyed this character. Why did I enjoy this character? It's pretty simple, because I'm a man. This character is hot. This character's a chick, and most of the time we see her, she's running around in a bikini. What's not to like? Seriously? What the fuck is not to like? There was a lot to like, but then we dive into her backstory, and we find out that once upon a time she wasn't a woman, she was actually born a male. So yeah, this is a trans character, and straight away I just felt weird because I'm thinking this character's hot, and it turns out to be a trans character. Now don't get me wrong, the actress is still a woman, so that doesn't really change anything. But yeah, I don't really know how I feel about this character. I mean, Japan's like a conservative country, so I was kind of surprised to see them go down this route. But I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be fair, I'm not just going to diss a character because of, you know, a reason like that. I still like this character. I think this character is pretty good. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying how they should have got a trans woman to play this character and stuff like that, and that we're taking away trans roles from trans people. Well, first of all, I'm going to say you will not get a trans woman that looks anywhere near as good as this, right? It's not going to happen. There's no trans woman that looks as hot as this actress. Definitely not. And another thing I want to say is, if you're going to play those kind of roles, then you need to be consistent. If a trans character has to be played by a trans actress or actor, then does that mean a trans actor and actress can't play a normal character? Does that mean that a gay actor can't play a straight character? So yeah, again, if you're going to go down that road, then you have to be consistent. But of course, these people are not consistent. They want to have their cake and they want to eat it. If you want to have that, if that's the way you want it, if you want to have like gay people having to play gay characters, then by all means do it. But then that also means that gay people cannot play straight characters. You can't have it both ways. So, and by the way, going back to Kiana's death prediction, got sidetracked there. I'm going to go with her dying. I think she'll die a hero's death, and I do think Kiana will bite the dust. Up next, we have Usagi. She is like the lead female in this show. I don't see her dying. Her and Arasu are... They're not together, but although they have hinted in season 1 that maybe, although anytime that was hinted, there was like an awkwardness. Could they end up together? I don't know. I mean, just because it's a man and a woman, they don't necessarily have to get together. You know, you can have a bond, and it doesn't have to be sexual, of course, I get that, but who knows, they might end up together, they might not. But as for Usagi, I think she will survive. I hope she survives. She's a likeable character. She's one of my favourite characters on the show, so I'm going to go with Usagi to live and survive in season 2. And that means last but not least, we move on to Arasu. And what can you say about Arasu? He grows so much in this series. When you take him from like episode 1, he's literally just a guy that sits there and doesn't do anything, doesn't contribute to anything, just sits and plays games, wasting his fucking life. But then by the end of season 1, you know, he's literally the hero. He's literally almost like the leader of the group, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to like get stuff done and protect the people he cares about, and he steps up big time. I know it's only 8 episodes, but you compare him to episode 1 and to episode 8, the growth of this character is pretty huge. And it's not like he morally, like he loses his... He doesn't lose anything, you know. He starts a good guy and he finishes a good guy. So yeah, it's not like he doesn't go to the dark side or anything like that. Who knows? He might in season 2. What I really hope they don't do is, I don't want to get like Squid Game vibes where like the last battle is like 1 versus 1, where the winner, like, you know, wins overall. I'd hate to see it come down to Arasu versus Usagi 1-on-1 with the winner getting to go home or something like that. I really don't want that to happen. I'm going to say Arasu lives. I think he will live with Usagi. I think they will both survive. So that's my prediction. Arasu lives, Usagi lives. And yeah, out of this cast, I only see 3 survivors, unfortunately, and that is Arasu, Usagi, and I don't like him, but I do think he will survive, and that is Chisawa. So let me know, guys, what you think down below. Let me know your death predictions. There is only 9 characters in this video because, again, it's the only 9 characters from season 1 that have been listed as appearing in season 2. 2. Now, there is other characters that survived Season 1, but I haven't included them because there's no sign that they're going to be in the show, and I also haven't included anybody that wasn't in Season 1, for the main reason is we don't know them, and how can I really predict something that I don't know? How can I talk about people that I don't know? So there's my reasons for that, guys. This is my Season 2 predictions. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I guess we'll find out, because in less than, what, 10 hours now? Season 2 will be available, and I can't wait to watch it, guys. That's it. Till next time, be Fog Entertainment. Peace.